Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. It's Joe and it's time for Bucket with Joe. I hope you all had an excellent holidays. It is Tuesday, December 27th. We're on the countdown now to the new year. Hockey is back. That 3-day break seemed like absolutely forever, but I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. I want to thank you guys for jumping back in here with me on this beautiful Tuesday. We've got 11 games on the ice today. We got so many. I'm so excited. We got some great home teams to look at today, as well as a couple of road favorites that I'm looking at. Now, you've got to take into effect when you look at these teams today that all of these teams did have to travel today. So some of these home teams do have a nice advantage. I've got a home dog that I'm looking at to come out nice and strong as well. So let's jump right into it. I had a wonderful Christmas, Rick. Thank you so much for asking. A nice time with the kids, and I still have another turkey to cook. Gonna cook that up tomorrow. So lots of turkey going around. I have a huge roast for New Year's as well. So definitely a great time of year. I just had slice before this, not gonna lie. Holiday baking is absolutely my favorite. But thank you, everyone, for jumping in here today. Appreciate you guys. Let's get going with the first game kicking off at 7 o'clock Eastern today between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, Carolina coming in as a massive favorite here, and rightly so. This team is so dominant on home ice. Their defense has been playing absolutely incredible. Now, before we went to break, they won those last 8 games. And now Chicago coming in here. Before the break, they did get that win over the Columbus Blue Jackets. But this team really has struggled, especially defensively, allowing that 3.75 goals per game and 33.4 shots on goal. Now, Peter Marat's expected in goal for them here. He has a 4.22 goals against average. So while the Canes are a huge favorite, I do believe that they should be this kind of favorite here at home in this one. They are 10-3-1 at home this season. They haven't been solid on that puck line at home, though, going 4-10 on that puck line. But with the Blackhawks coming in here off rest, they absolutely struggle off rest, going 1-5 in their last 6 games, playing on 3 days or more rest. So I can't touch the Blackhawks here with a 10-foot pole. I don't like anything about this team coming into this game, especially with traveling today. For myself, it's the Carolina Hurricanes or nothing in this. You've got to laying 2.5 on that puck line, not just 1.5 to get any value. You're getting that at plus 105. Now their team total over 3.5, you are not getting any value on at all at minus 166. So really expecting the Carolina Hurricanes to come out completely flat or completely dominate in this one, and for the Chicago Blackhawks to come out flat. I was even looking at Chicago Blackhawks team total juice to that under 1.5. So what am I going to do in this one? I'm going to look at the first period. I expect Carolina, with their abilities on home ice here, to come out strong out of the gate. Well, we've seen both of these teams trending in opposite directions as well. Off of rest, we've seen Carolina very strong off of that rest. They're 4-1 in their last 5 games playing on that 1 day's rest. So I expect them to come out strong in that first period. We can get them in the first period on that puck line, laying 0.5 at, what is it at? Minus 112 there. So I think there's a lot of value here. I do think the Carolina Hurricanes win this, but getting them to win it by 3 is a lot to ask in this one, in a game that they do expect Carolina to go over that 3.5. I don't like the value we're getting in that one. Now, I do think we could see the Carolina Hurricanes come in and get those 4 goals. So get us over that. And then we've got to expect for this total, the Blackhawks to get 2 or more for this one to push over the total of 6. And now I don't know if I trust the Blackhawks enough in this one. So I'm going to stay off that total as well. If the Blackhawks can get a couple goals, this one does go over that total. But the majority of the goals are going to be scored by Carolina in this one. So I'm staying off the total. That first period is what I'm liking in this one. Yeah, Benji, that is a great way to look at it, taking the Canes on the money line and the over 5.5 in this one at minus 105. My only concern here would be if the Chicago Blackhawks come out completely flat and don't score a goal themselves. I'd maybe look at the Canes on the money line and then their team total over 3.5 combined with those two, if you can get some value there. I hate counting on a team that I am not trusting in a situation to go over, but that one should hit because I do think the Blackhawks should get a couple goals in this one. It was a great game last night with the Bolts. Victor, thank you for bringing it up. I was so happy to see my Bolts get the win. We're making the playoffs for the first time since 2018. Justin Herbert got us there. It was a phenomenal game last night. Austin Eckler just dominated in that one last night. So Hurricanes parlay piece for you in 60 minutes, Brian. I do like where you're going with that. They should be able to get this one done in 60 minutes. I completely agree with that bet there. Okay, let's look at the next game on the ice, you guys. Again, thank you so much for being here with me today. The Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers come in here tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern, total of 6. Now, I am leaning on the Rangers here for a nice big win. They're coming in here at minus 156 here on the money line, but I do think that they could probably cover this puck line at home. Their record on the puck line at home hasn't been solid, so we're taking a big chance here. They're 6-12 on that puck line at home this season, but they have covered that puck line in their last 6 games. And yes, some of these situations have been underdogs, but I look at the struggles the Washington Capitals have had in New York. They've gone 2-6 in the last 8 meetings in New York. And I think this is a game where they struggle getting that travel in today in this one. Kemper is confirmed in goal for the Washington Capitals, and I haven't had much faith in the Capitals with Kemper in goal. He's got a 2.53 goals against average. We know he either plays phenomenally or doesn't in a lot of these games. Now, the Capitals are doing strong on both sides of the puck, so they're not a bad team. They did win their last 4 before the break, but I think this is the Rangers game here. I really like what we've seen out of the Rangers. Igor is expected in goal for them tonight, which is a huge difference maker here. He's got a 2.44 goals against average. Now, these teams super similar on both sides of the puck, but I look at these matchups. In the last 14 matchups, the home team has won 10 of those, and I think the Rangers are strong enough to get this win on home ice. It's going to be a hard one, but I think they can do it. I think this is one of the games that does stay under the total. I like a lot of overs today, but taking this one under 6. Even though I'm taking the Rangers on that puck line for a sprinkle, I think there is a value. Now, if you don't like the puck line, you can take the Rangers in 60 minutes. They're strong at home. They're 8-6-3-1 on the season at home. We've seen great ability out of the Capitals. Nothing against them here. I just think coming in off the break, it really favors the New York Rangers in this one. So give me the New York Rangers in 60 minutes. Give me the New York Rangers also with a sprinkle on that puck line at minus 1.5. You're getting that at plus 160. I love the value there. Now, the under 6, I think, is a phenomenal way to take this. And when we look at the last, they played 94 games between each other over the course of history. We've seen the Washington Capitals average that 2.6 goals per game, and the New York Rangers average that 2.6 as well. So they're averaging 5.2 goals per game. Over all 94 games that they've played. I do think this one stays under. The under has hit in 2 of their last 4 meetings, but 2 of the other 2 didn't go over. They pushed on that total. And at this number of 6 here, we could get the push. But I do think this is a 3-1 style game here for the New York Rangers. I think the defense really steps up in this one. The Capitals also versus the Met have really trended to that under with their last 5 games, going under that total. There is some questionable players in this one as well. I do like the Rangers in 60 minutes. You're getting some plus money. I love that there. So let's move on to the next one here. We have the Boston Bruins taking on the Ottawa Senators. And now this is at 7 o'clock Eastern as well. I think this game could be absolutely phenomenal on the ice tonight. We know the Ottawa Senators are one of those teams that really started off strong offensively and have had some struggles. Their defense is really letting them down, allowing that 3.21 goals per game and 32.4 shots on goal. The Boston Bruins absolutely lights out offensively. This is one of the top scoring teams in the whole league. They're averaging that 3.88 goals per game, which is second overall in the league, and 34.6 shots on goal. Now, Cam Talbot is expected here for the Ottawa Senators. And we know we like what we've seen out of Cam Talbot so far this season. He's got a 2.71 goals against average. He's at home in this one. Swarman confirmed here for the Boston Bruins. He's got a 2.65. We look at the Boston Bruins. They have just an excellent penalty kill. They're going to, if they get in the penalty box, they're going to be able to protect their net in this one. I think we have a huge battle. My only concern for Boston here is before the break, they played the Devils. They did get the win, but they have the Devils back on deck tomorrow. So I am kind of concerned about a look-ahead spot here for the Boston Bruins. Both of these teams have great power plays, strong face-off abilities. I really do like what we've seen out of the Ottawa Senators offensively. So we've got strong goaltending, but strong offenses, and the Ottawa Senators defense is the biggest question mark in this one because we know the Boston Bruins defense is absolutely lights out, only allowing that 2.18 goals per game, which is first overall in the league, and holding opponents to 29.4 shots on goal. So this is a battle of the Atlantic, you guys, with the Boston Bruins first and the Ottawa Senators 8th in the Atlantic. So while I do think Boston could look over them here, this is still a battle of the Atlantic in this one. Now, Boston coming in at minus 194. I don't love the value. There's no value for me on the money line. They've been dominantly strong in Ottawa. But I do think this is one where Ottawa is going to get the goals. So I'm going to look at Ottawa's team total over 2.5. We're playing minus 112 there. Now, Swarman struggled in his last game. If you remember that last game out, 5 or 6 goals were put in the back of his net before they pulled Swarman off the ice and put Ullmark in. I do think we see a little bit of rattled nerves in this one for Swarman, for lack of better words. Some people think goalies can bounce back off of this, have a phenomenal game. Well, I do think he'll be strong. I think that first period is where he lets a nice goal in. But we know the Boston Bruins are strong in that first period as well. So looking at that first period, over 1.5 is minus 144, which I absolutely love. Don't love the juice we're paying on it, but I do think we have a higher scoring first period in this one. So give me the Ottawa Senators team total over 2.5 at minus 112. Also, give me that first period over 1.5 at minus 144. I do think this one for the full total probably goes over that 6.5, but I'm not willing to bet it with the goaltending here. I do think Swarman, at the end of the day, will not let in 6 goals to the Ottawa Senators. I just don't think it's going to happen, but I do think that first period is where those goals come in. We got to take the money today, you guys. Ullmark, Bruins saving Ullmark. Yeah. Ullmark is saved for tomorrow. Okay, you guys, let's move on to the next game here. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the New York Islanders. Now, you guys, I said this before the break, and I went against the Islanders in that game versus the Panthers. They ended up coming out and dominating that game, getting a 5-1 win. This is an Islanders team that is so inconsistent for me. I have a very hard time betting. Sorokin expected in goal. He's got a 2.35 goals against average. I can't trust him this season. He's been so inconsistent as well. Now, Jari expected here for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I really like what we've seen out of Jari. He's been so phenomenally strong. He has a 2.67 goals against average, and he's playing better than we've seen him all season, in my opinion. Now, Pittsburgh Penguins come in here with a better power play and a face-off, and they've got the best penalty kill in the league. I think the Penguins have the upper hand. I know it's a little juiced at minus 140, but I do think there's value. Again, if you go shop these lines, the average number is minus 140. And that's what I try to give you on this show. But if you go shop your lines, head on over to Betstamp. Use referral code Madden. There was a minus 130 out there earlier today. I can't remember where that was at. Might have been FanDuel for the minus 130. So go look for that best value you can get there. Now, the last time these teams played was last season. Pittsburgh got the huge win, 6-3. I don't think it's that much of a blowout win here for Pittsburgh. I think this is a battle on the ice. We look at the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're 9-6-2 on the road this season, 9-8 on that puck line. And the New York Islanders going 10-6 at home and 9-7 on that puck line. Now, they have covered that puck line in their last 12 as an underdog versus the Pittsburgh Penguins, but there is no value here taking them plus 1.5. It's just not going to happen. The Pittsburgh Penguins, so strong off of rest. I think this is a good game for them to come in and get the win. We've also seen them win 6 of their last 7 road games and go 8-2 in their last 10 overall. So this is a team that was solid before the break. I'm looking for them to stay solid here. And I talk about those inconsistencies of the Islanders. They're 2-5 in their last 7 overall. I just can't get behind them here. Maybe if they were a bigger underdog at home, I could get behind the value of a team that did win that last game, looking for a momentum change before that break. So if they were a bigger dog, I probably could jump on them. At this, I can't. I think the Penguins do have the upper hand, and I think Jari is the better goaltender. For this one, though, I do think we look at this total of 6 and we hit that over. The over has hit in 8 of the last 11 meetings. And I can see this being a 4-3 style game in this one. So give me the over as well. We look at the Islanders as well. When we look at their last 4 wins in the next game, they haven't been able to pull those wins off in the following. So they're coming off a win, but they're coming off a win with a break in between there. So I can't get there, you guys, with the Islanders. I like the over 6. I think it's a solid play. And let's look at the next one on the board. I'm drinking so much coffee today because I'm absolutely freezing. Although we've warmed up a lot, 20 degrees. It's like +2 instead of minus 28 here. So I guess that's 30 degrees we've warmed up, and I'm still absolutely freezing. Let's talk about the next game. We got the Dallas Stars taking on the Nashville Predators. Now, this is a tricky game here to look at. We have the Dallas Stars coming in here at -132. We have the Nashville Predators at +110. Now, when we look at these two teams, Dallas is first in the Central. The Nashville Predators are 6th in the Central. Why are the Dallas Stars only -132 on that money line? This seems like too easy of a bet to take Dallas here, paying the -132. It feels like a trap to me. I'm not going to lie. Jake Ottinger expected for the Dallas Stars. He's got a 2.45 goals against average, and Saros here expected for the Preds. He's got a 2.81. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know why the Stars are at such a short price, which makes me want to stay off. I can't bet the Stars here. I don't think this is one where you can take them in this. I think the Predators somehow pull off the win in this one. It's the only way I can bet it. If the Dallas Stars were coming in here at -170, -180, I would take the Dallas Stars in regulation. That is what the line should be. You're telling me the Dallas Stars are -132 with Jake Ottinger? Why the hell are they that? We look at the Dallas Stars in the last 5 meetings in Nashville when we dig deeper. They've only won 1 of the last 5 meetings in Nashville. They're also 2-5 in their last 7 versus the Central. I think this is one where the Preds come in rested and get this win. Give me the Predators here at +110. They're 4-1 in the last 5 meetings for the home team between these two. And I know the Predators have struggled versus teams with winning records, but I think this is one where they can get the win here at home on home ice. They're 8-5, 2-1 at home this season. And we've seen the Dallas Stars being absolutely phenomenal. That's what I mean, you guys. On that puck line on the road, going 13-5, 10-5-3 on the road this season. They shouldn't be only -132 favorites here. I'm fading it. I'm going against it. I think the books are trying to trick us. And that's where I'm at with this one. Merry Christmas, Alan. Thank you so much for popping in here today. +2. I am up in Calgary, Alberta. And yeah, I think our high was +2 for the day. So it's just a little chilly here. Okay. And in this one, if I had to take a total in this one, I know the Dallas Stars are absolutely phenomenal offensively, but I do think something is off with this line. I think we stay under the total. We know the Nashville Predators have struggled to get those goals. I'm looking for a really strong defensive game and a strong goaltending game in this one. So I'm going to lean with the under in the Nashville Predators here at +110. I'm scared for this game, but I tell you, when we start looking at those games where I'm like, how are we getting this total at this price, or how are we getting this team total? How are we getting this team at such a low price? That's when we are being tricked. We've seen it happen to us 3-4 times already this season when we've looked at stuff and it just doesn't sit right. Again, if the Dallas Stars were higher here and we could take them in regulation 60, that's where my money would be. We know they're the better team. We are going to get to the Blackhawks in a couple of minutes here. Absolutely, for sure. I can't believe I just said absolutely for sure. Double positive or whatever that is. Okay, the Minnesota Wild and the Winnipeg Jets. For anyone who's looking for a particular game, this show will be bookmarked at the end once I am done, so you can go back and look if you don't have the time right now to stick around. The bookmarks will be up within 15 minutes of the show finishing. So the Minnesota Wild and the Winnipeg Jets come in here. Winnipeg, a dog at home at plus 102. We have minus 125 here from the Minnesota Wild. Total of 6. Now, we have the Wild sitting 4th in the Central and the Winnipeg Jets sitting 2nd in the Central. Connor Hellebuyck expected in goal for the Winnipeg Jets. I don't like to fade Connor Hellebuyck at home. He's been absolutely phenomenal at home this season. He's got a 2.36 goals against average. Gustafsson expected here for the Minnesota Wild. He has a 2.44. If Fleury was in goal, I think I probably would look at this game a little bit different. But I do think with Hellebuyck here at home, I've got to go with the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets so strong at home this season, going 12-5 at home. We look at the Wild. They have been strong on the road, 8-6-1. But I do think this is a game where the Winnipeg Jets come out and get a nice home win. Now, the last time these teams did play, we saw the Minnesota Wild absolutely dominate over the Winnipeg Jets. I can remember that game because I was on Winnipeg in that one. I believe Connor Hellebuyck started in that one too, and it was on the road versus the Wild, and the Wild were at home. The Wild won that one 6-1. I think this is a revenge game for the Jets. Look for them to come out nice and strong in this one. The Jets are 16-5 in their last 21 home games. And we look at the Wild going into Winnipeg. They've gone 2-9 in the last 11 in Winnipeg. So I think this is one where the Jets come out, get the win. The Jets have also won their last 6 against the Central Division. So give me the Jets here at plus 102. You got to love the value of a home dog. Okay. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the St. Louis Blues. Another one, you guys, I'm going to say straight up, I am writing the value with the St. Louis Blues here at home. A plus 150, I cannot turn down the St. Louis Blues at home in this matchup versus the Toronto Maple Leafs, who haven't been phenomenal on the road. They've lost their last, I believe, 3 of their last 4 road games. They won their last 2 over the break, and I agree with you. The Toronto Maple Leafs are playing phenomenal hockey at the moment, but they're coming in off this break. These two teams do play again next week. I believe it is next Tuesday as well, back in Toronto, and I think these two split these 2 games. So I'm going to take St. Louis for this first game and Toronto for the second. I think the home ice advantage between these two is going to be a strong way to go with this. We also seen strong trends to the underdog in these matchups between these two, with the underdog winning 5 of the last 7. I just cannot pass up on the value of the St. Louis Blues at home. Now, this team is another team that has been inconsistent. They've gone through win and loss streaks for sure. Now, the last time these teams played was back last February, and we saw the St. Louis Blues dominate over the Leafs. It was a 6-3 win. Now, I know it's hard to look at the Leafs losing this one because they are 7-3 in those last 10 road games, but we look at those last 4 and I just can't trust them. I can't trust the Leafs on the road. They're also 8-20 in the last 28 meetings versus the St. Louis Blues. I think the Blues is the only way I could take this one. I'm not sure if it's going to make my premium bets 2 clients at the moment, but I do think this one goes over that total. I think we've got a higher scoring one here. It's the only way the Blues can win it is if Toronto's defense comes out a little sloppy in this. Now, Jordan Binnington is expected for the Blues. We know his inconsistencies so far this season as well. He's got a 3.18 goals against average. Samsonov confirmed here for the Toronto Maple Leafs with a 2.07. I'm hoping this is one of those games that the travel that this team has had to face today with the Toronto Maple Leafs has caused some issues, and the Blues can get the win. So, you guys, that's where I'm going with that one. The next game on the board, I'm just seeing your comments come in here for sure. Oh, the Jets on the money line and the under 7.5 is at plus 150. I do like where you're going with that one. Um, that would be a nice plus money win there. I do like it. That game hits 7 at the most. Okay. The next game on the board, the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Arizona Coyotes. Now, the Avs coming in here as large favorites, minus 220. We've got a total that has dropped to 5.5 from 6. We got the Coyotes at plus 180. You guys know I love a home dog. I love a home dog that can get an upset too within their division. This is a battle of the Central here with the Avs sitting third, the Arizona Coyotes sitting seventh. I think the Coyotes have the ability to pull off a win. Coyotes all day for me. The home team is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings between these two. Connor Ingram already expected here, or already confirmed here in goal. He's got a 4.0 goals against average. So we don't have phenomenal goaltending. We have a team that has struggled on both sides of the puck, but they've won their last 2 games versus the Colorado Avalanche. The last game was last March, low scoring 3-2 win. I do think this is one where they can pull off the upset, where Colorado's just kind of looking past them. I also think Colorado coming into this, they won their last 4 before the break. Pretty confident coming in, facing Arizona, who's so far down the ladder in the division. I think they look past the Arizona Coyotes. I can't pass on the Coyotes at this value. You can take them plus 1.5 here at minus 135. I do think this is a tighter game. Both of the last couple of games have been lower scoring between these two as well. And I expect that in this one. I expect us to stay under that 5.5. So give me the under 5.5. Give me the Coyotes plus 1.5 on the puck line. And then give me the Arizona Coyotes sprinkled on that money line at plus 180. You know I can't say no to that. The next game on the board, you guys, we do have 11 games on the board tonight, and this is the one I am absolutely the most excited for. You guessed it. We got the Battle of Alberta. This game is going to be absolutely incredible. We've got Edmonton coming in here at plus 125, Calgary at minus 150, total of 6.5. Right away, this total of 6.5, while it's high, I expect it to go over this total. I think this is a 4-3 style game. When these two teams come out and play, it's like defense takes a night off. These teams just start firing offensively. This is a hard-hitting battle, though. Expect those penalties come in. Calgary's taking way too many penalties as of late, and we know if they want to win this game, they can't get these penalties because we have the Edmonton Oilers coming in here with such a phenomenal power play. They will get these goals. Jacob Markstrom is expected in goal for Calgary tonight. Now, he has a 2.84 goals against average, but when he faces the Edmonton Oilers, something doesn't go right. I wish Dan Vladar was in goal for Calgary. Now, I am leaning on Calgary to get the win here. I can't take it in regulation, though, and at minus 150, it is too high on that money line. But I do think if you're going to take a side and you can get a better line than minus 150, again, shop those lines over at Betstamp, use referral code Madden. If you can get minus 140 or below, I would take Calgary here to get this win. Now, they have played 2 games already so far this season. I've been able to go to both. This is the 3rd game here. In that first game in Edmonton, we saw Calgary absolutely explode in that first period. Now, Jack Campbell was in goal to start that game. It's looking like Skinner is expected in this one. Now, in that first game, Jack Campbell did get pulled after Calgary was able to get, I believe it was 3 goals right away on Campbell in that first period. In the second game, Edmonton came down to Calgary. Edmonton was able to pull off the win in that one. I think, although this one is in Calgary, we've seen strong trends to the underdog going forward in the last 5 meetings, as well as strong trends towards the Oilers winning 5 of the last 6 meetings. This one does go to Calgary here. I'm looking at Calgary with this home ice advantage to be absolutely huge and get back to that trend of the home team getting the win, which the first 2 games we didn't see this season. The home team is 13-6 in the last 19 meetings overall. I pray the Flames come out and win this one. So you guys, it's going to be absolutely phenomenal in this game. So what I'm going to look at too is here, because of those first periods, because I do like the over 6.5. I think not only do you look at the over 1.5 in that first period, I think the best way to look at this is to look at both teams to score in that first period, because between Skinner and Markstrom, we know these goals are going to come in that first period. Both of these goalies look a little jumpy to start these games. We know Markstrom's going to be jumpy. We know he makes mistakes. Skinner, not the main goalie. He has been the better goalie, I think, between Jack Campbell and Skinner, but both teams to score in that first period, you guys. And you know I always look for value. That's the best value of this game. It's coming in at plus 140. So give me both teams to score. This is going to be a great game. If Calgary wins, think of me tonight, because my Bolts won last night. We had a phenomenal night celebrating. If Calgary doesn't win tonight, it's going to be a sad, sad night. Unfortunately, I'm not going to this game. I was trying to get tickets. I looked them up late. $800 for not even good seats. So I'm not going, but my mom's going tonight. She's going to be 5 rows behind the Flames bench. So look for my mom if you're watching this game. She looks like me, just well, she looks like my sister. I was going to say a couple years older, but not really. So it's going to be absolutely a phenomenal game on the ice tonight. Let's look at the next game. I could talk about Calgary all night long. I'd look at the shots on goal in this one. I would look at some goal scorers. We can go over a couple goal scorers. You got to look at Connor McDavid for that anytime goal. We know how absolutely phenomenal he has been. Kadri for that anytime goal. There's so many players you can look at shots on goal and anytime goals in this game. It's going to be higher scoring. Okay, one more sip of coffee, you guys. Yeah, it is a coin flip. It's going to be a really hard one. Yeah, there is no value in $800 a seat for not great seats. If it was like right behind the bench, 100%. But this game, Battle of Alberta, everyone wants to be at it. I understand the ticket prices. I just wish I had looked at getting tickets earlier. I wouldn't be paying through the nose, but it's going to be a phenomenal game. I'm excited. My mom's going to be there. She better FaceTime me for the celebration when we win. So the San Jose Sharks taking on the Vancouver Canucks. This game is at 10 o'clock Eastern. The Sharks come in here at plus 114. The Vancouver Canucks at minus 137. Now, James Reimer expected in goal for the Sharks. He's got a 2.99 goals against average. The Vancouver Canucks expected to start Spencer Martin. He has a 3.66. Both of these teams, they're coming off wins before the break. We did see these teams play just December 7th. It was a high-scoring one. The total flew over with the Vancouver Canucks getting a 6-5 win. Now, the Sharks are 0-7 in the last 7 meetings with the Vancouver Canucks. But when they actually roll into Vancouver, they've gone 16-5 in the last 21 meetings. The road team has gone 5-1 in the last 6 meetings overall. But I don't like how the Sharks come in off rest. They're 1-5 in the last 6 games, playing on 3 days or more rest. I do think with the travel in this one is going to be a hard game for the Sharks to come out and get the win. Spencer Martin, I think, will have a solid night in this one. The Canucks have won, like I said, their last 7 versus the Sharks. They're 6-0 in their last 6 versus the Pacific as well. And versus teams with winning records below 400, the Canucks have been shining. They've won their last 4 versus teams with winning records below 400. So I'm going to lean on the Vancouver Canucks here at minus 137. It's the only way I could take it. It's a little juiced. It's not making my premium card, but if you're looking for a bet in this one, I think the Canucks here and the over 6.5. You're going to pay juice on that over at minus 130 as well. But I do think the over is a solid way. The over is hit in 5 of the last 6 meetings. One of those was a push. You're not going to get the push here at 6.5. And to buy down that half a point, you're going to pay way too much money here. So give me the over 6.5. The next game and the last game on the board, you guys, we've flown through these games today. We have the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the LA Kings. Now, this game is one where I want to take Vegas here. I think Vegas is a stronger team, but I can't trust in Vegas right now. Jack Eichel's still out. A couple other key elements still out for this team. I think this is a Kings game. And I really like that Phoenix Copley is confirmed in goal for the LA Kings. Now, he's been very good for us this season. He's been brought up, and he was only brought up in late November, early December. He's got a 2.49 goal against average. I think he's going to be solid here against the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, Logan Thompson is expected for Vegas, and we know how phenomenal Logan Thompson has been. He's got a 2.66. Both of these teams have been strong offensively, averaging over 3 goals per game and over 32 shots on goal per game. Now, defensively is where the Kings have been letting themselves down. They're allowing over that 3.43 goals per game and only 29.4 shots on goal. So this has come down to goaltending. Jonathan Quick has been a lot of the issues. Now, I've sat here and I've talked so positive about Jonathan Quick, saying his record really doesn't indicate how good he is as a goalie. I believe in him a lot more. But like I said before the break, it's got to be a point where I go, okay, Jonathan Quick just isn't the Jonathan Quick that I'm used to seeing. He's not playing up to it this season. Again, he's not in goal tonight. Phoenix Copley is confirmed in goal for the LA Kings. I think the Kings pull this one off at home. Now, this is a major battle of the Pacific here. Vegas is the first in the Pacific right now. The Kings are the second. I think they get this one done at home, you guys. The only thing that scares me is Vegas always finds a way to win. They're 14-2-1 on the road this season. They played better on the road than they have at home. They won this last matchup in October 4-3. Versus the LA Kings. The Kings have been strong on home ice in their last 5 games, winning 4 of those. It's going to be a hard one. Vegas has won 4 of the last 5 meetings in LA. I think this is LA's game tonight. I got a gut feeling about it. I do think, though, for them to win this total has to go over 6. The last 5 meetings in LA have gone over that total. We know how explosive these two teams are offensively. The Kings' defense has been letting them down. I think the over 6 is the safest play in this game, but I got to take the Kings here at -120. Rick, I could definitely see this one going to OT. This could be a good one. Yeah, Alan, they're 14-2-1 on the road this season for the Vegas Golden Knights. They have the best road record, I believe, of any team. I'd have to check that against Boston, but I'm pretty sure. Let's just look at Boston's road record here. Boston's 9-4 on the road, so Vegas coming out with that the strongest road record of any team this season. Vegas just at +100. I tell you guys, Vegas is first in Pacific. It's like they're begging us again to take the Vegas Golden Knights at +100. If this game was flipped again, it would be a game where I'd look more into it and go, okay, why are they asking us? They're asking us to take Vegas here at this price. I can't get behind it. So we have the Buffalo Sabres and the Columbus Blue Jackets game. That one is postponed, but we do have 11 games on the board today. You guys know I'm most excited for my Calgary Flames tonight. It's going to be a good one. Let's build a parlay, you guys. It's going to be a big parlay. We'll do these 11 teams parlayed here, and then we will build some smaller parlays out of it. You guys, again, thank you for joining me here. Weekdays at 3:30 Eastern on Pikket with Joe. You can hit that like, hit that subscribe over on YouTube. It would help me a lot. On all other social media, if you could share this post, it would be greatly appreciated. So, first game, the Chicago Blackhawks and the Carolina Hurricanes. You guys, I think the best bet of this game. This is a recap. We'll go over the best bet and what I'm going to throw into a money line parlay. The best bet, I think, is the Carolina Hurricanes in that first period on that puck line at -0.5. Now we're getting that at -112. I think there's so much value there. When you're looking at huge favorites like this, if you think they're going to cover a huge extended puck line, you got to think they're going to come in and cover that first period. I like the first period better. We're not going to get any extra players on the ice, that kind of thing, when the Chicago Blackhawks pull their goalie for no reason and score that extra goal and blow that puck line. So give me Carolina on that puck line, -0.5, -112 in the first period. I do think you can lean on Carolina for the full game. I just don't love it there at -2.5 at +105. I just don't think there's enough value for me to hope they win this by 3, although I pretty well think that they will. Their team total over 3.5 is 2 juice 2 at -166 for me in this one. To Carolina and the Chicago Blackhawks, I would lean on the over 6, but I think your better way to take that would just to take the Carolina Hurricanes team total if you really want a total there. But like I said, it's 2 juice. For the parlay, we're just going to throw the Canes in regulation in the parlay. That's going to bring the odds down a little. But like I said, for a single bet, the first period, Canes on the puck line. The Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers, you guys. I love the Rangers here on the money line. That's what I'm going to throw into the parlay. I think you can look at the Capitals team total under 2.5 goals at -112. I think the Capitals struggle in this game tonight as long as Ovechkin doesn't come out and screw that team total, which we know the talent of Ovechkin, that can definitely happen. The Rangers on that money line, I'm also going to sprinkle on the puck line at -1.5 at +160. I think there's so much value with the Rangers at home in this one. And I do think this is an under 6 game because I think the Washington Capitals struggle to score on Igor Shesterkin in this one. So give me the Rangers on the money line for that parlay. I will recap this parlay at the end of the game. The Rangers in 60 is probably the best bet of this game, followed by the Rangers on that puck line at -1.5 at +160. Now, I forgot to tell you for a prop bet for the Carolina Hurricanes, I would look at Sebastian Aho here for that anytime goal. It's coming in at +162. I really like what we've seen out of Sebastian Aho. He's got 11 goals on the season, 16 assists in those 27 games. I think he's in for a good night tonight. Now, the Boston Bruins are taking on the Ottawa Senators. I'm going to look at the Ottawa Senators team total over 2.5. This is, I think, my strongest bet of this game is the Sens team total. We've ridden this team total over 2.5 in a lot of games. They're offensively averaging that 3.03. I think this is one even with Swarman expected here, which they have 2 really strong goalies with Omek and Swarman that the Senators can get those couple of goals just with the Devils on deck. I think this might be an overlooked spot. I'm looking at the home team to come in here. I might sprinkle on the Senators here on the money line. I'd love to see it. But I do think what I'll throw into the parlay is the over 1.5 in that first period. I really like the over 1.5. I think if we're going to see Ottawa capitalize in this game, it's going to be in that first period off of Swarman coming into this off a really shaky game in his first one. So give me the over 1.5 between the Sens and the Bruins. But I do think the best bet is the over 2.5 for the Senators team total. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders. I'm going to take the Penguins here. I'm going to throw the Penguins on the money line into the parlay. Again, shop those lines because you're getting anywhere from -130 to -140, depending on your book. You can use Betstamp, use referral code Madden. I just can't trust the inconsistencies here of the Islanders. I do think this is an over style game as well. I think you can hit the over 6 in this one, but I do like the Penguins as my best bet for that game. The Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators. Like I said, you guys, this game scares me. This line just doesn't look right. I can't get behind the Dallas Stars at -132. It's like they're begging us to take them here on the money line. I think the Predators pull this one off. The Preds +110 here is the only way I can bet this game here. I think they come out, they dominate. Now, I do think this is a lower scoring one. I would look at the under 6. I'm not going to throw this game into the parlay, though. The Predators single bet, just at +110. The next game, the Minnesota Wild and the Winnipeg Jets. I think the Winnipeg Jets here at home with Hellebuck. I cannot look past them here. I'm going to put Winnipeg on the money line in the parlay. I do think this one is tricky to that total of 6. I think Hellebuck could have a phenomenal night and stand on his head. So I'm not touching the total in this one. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the St. Louis Blues. You guys know I'm a sucker for a home underdog I love the Blues at plus 150 tonight. I think all the values on the Blues. I do know the Toronto Maple Leafs have been playing some of the best hockey of the season, and they should have a good, solid game, but I don't trust them as much on the road. These two teams play again next week, so I do think they split, and St. Louis gets this win here at home. So for the parlay, let's just take the St. Louis Blues plus 1.5 on that puck line because I do think it's a tight game. So them covering the puck line, well, there's no value really in a straight up bet. There is value throwing it into the parlay, but I love the St. Louis Blues here at plus 150 on the money line. The Colorado Avalanche and the Arizona Coyotes. I think the Avs sleep on the Coyotes tonight. I'm going to take the Coyotes here as the best bet on that puck line at plus 1.5 at minus 135. I'm going to throw that into the parlay. I'm also going to bet it probably with a sprinkle on the Coyotes on that money line as well. I think the Coyotes have a solid game. We know they love to play upset. The Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. I'm going to take Edmonton and Calgary over the total for the parlay. Over that total 6.5. I think we have a phenomenally high scoring game in this one. This one could go to OT as well. I lean on Calgary to get the win, but because this money line is too juiced at minus 150, I can't take it. If you can get minus 130 to minus 140 for Calgary, I do think there's value in there. Minus 150, there's not for me. It's going to be a good game, you guys. Fingers crossed for my Calgary Flames tonight. The San Jose Sharks and the Vancouver Canucks. I think this game, for the parlay, I'm going to take the Sharks and the Canucks here on that, or on the over 6.5. I think we got another high scoring one. I think in this one at minus 137, I got to take the Canucks here. I just don't like what we've seen with the San Jose Sharks off of rest. So I can't get them behind them here. And I think the Canucks, with their 2 wins before the break, come in here with some confidence, get a home win for their home fans. And then Vegas and the LA Kings. This is such a hard game, you guys, but I keep looking at these games where I think the books are begging us to take one team. Vegas is first in the Pacific. The Kings are second in the Pacific. Why are they giving us plus money with Vegas? I'm not biting on it. I think the Kings is where you have to go with this game. I think the best bet, though, is to hit this one over 6. Got strong trends to that over. At worst, we get the push. I don't want to get the push, but I think Vegas and the Kings go over 6. This one could go to overtime as well. It's going to be good, you guys. Okay, so that long shot parlay, let's just recap that. And then I'm going to build a couple of other games that I really like here. So hang on. Just let me write these games that I really like before I forget what I wanted to parlay there. Okay, so the long shot parlay, I'm going to take the Hurricanes in regulation, the Rangers on the money line, the over 1.5 for the first period between the Bruins and the Senators, the Penguins on the money line, the Winnipeg Jets on the money line, the St. Louis Blues plus 1.5 on the puck line, the Coyotes plus 1.5 on the puck line, Edmonton and Calgary over 6.5, the Sharks and the Canucks over 6.5. And Vegas and the Kings over 6. Like I said, I like these overs today. There's a couple games that I like the unders, but I think this is a higher scoring one here with all of these teams off of breaks with just a little bit of not tiredness out of the defenses, but maybe sloppiness out of defenses in tonight's game, especially in Calgary and Edmonton. We know the struggles both of these teams are having. I think the best bet on the board is between Calgary and Edmonton for both teams to score in that first period. You got to love that plus 140. That's absolutely my favorite bet of the night. We're going to see fireworks between these two teams. We're going to see the penalties. We're going to see the fights. If you want to see a game that you see fights in, definitely watch Calgary and Edmonton tonight. Now, I'm also going to parlay the Coyotes on that puck line plus 1.5 and the St. Louis Blues on that puck line plus 1.5. We're going to get great value there parlaying those two because I do think both of these underdogs have the opportunity to win tonight. So while I'm going to parlay that, I'm going to bet both of those teams separately on the money line. It was plus 180 for the Arizona Coyotes to pull off the upset over the Avs tonight. And what was it? Plus 150 for the St. Louis Blues to pull off the upset tonight in their game. So going to be a lot of fun, you guys. The Rangers in 60 is my second favorite bet after Calgary and Edmonton in that first period, both teams to score. So, and then the Canes in the first period on that puck line. That's what I'm loving tonight, you guys. I hope we make some freaking money on the ice tonight. I'm going to get these bookmarks up. I see, Joe, you asking for these bookmarks. I'll get them up right after here. I got to go back and watch myself and timestamp these games. So I will get on it. But you guys have an absolutely incredible night. I hope you had a fantastic holiday. I love being back here. I missed you guys. I missed all of you. And I missed talking hockey with you guys. So thank you for always showing the support, showing the love. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's make some freaking money tonight, you guys. I'll be back here tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. All the best, you guys.